In 1178, three rulers face the trials of destiny. One defends his crumbling empire against unstoppable invaders. Another, a young prince, stands alone against rising threats from land and sea. And the third, a visionary, caught between the sword and the cross, seeks to unite his people. I hope you'll enjoy watching. By the time Khusrau ascended to the throne in 1160, the Ghaznavid Empire was already in decline. The empire had once been a powerful state, under leaders like Mahmud of Ghazni, who expanded its influence across vast territories. However, by Khusrau's Malik's time, the empire had been reduced to a fraction of its former glory, with only Lahore and parts of the Punjab region under his control. The Ghaznavids were constantly under pressure from the Ghurids, a dynasty from Ghor that was on the rise during Khusrau's Malik's reign. The Ghurid leader, Mu'izz al-Din Muhammad, often referred to as Muhammad of Ghor, launched multiple attacks on Ghaznavid territory. Khusrau Malik attempted to keep his kingdom afloat through diplomacy, but these efforts were largely in vain. He initially managed to fend off Ghurid invasions by forming temporary alliances and offering tributes, but his resources were dwindling, and the Ghurids were becoming increasingly powerful. Despite several peace agreements, the Ghurids eventually captured Lahore, his capital. In 1186, Khusrau Malik was taken prisoner by Muhammad of Ghor after being lured into a trap. Khusrau Malik's capture marked the formal end of the Ghaznavid Empire. After his imprisonment, the remaining territories of the Ghaznavids were annexed by the Ghurids. His death in captivity in 1191 sealed the fate of the dynasty. There are few ways to play as King Khusrau. You could try to expand your realm to the east, but you need to make sure that you will do it fast, because the Ghurids might attack you pretty much any day since the start of the game. Another interesting and definitely more risky option would be to gain as many alliances as you can and attack Ghurids before they rise in power. If you succeed, you will become the main power in the northern Indian area. As for the dynasty legacy, I am going with desirable match because of the plus 30 for marriage acceptance. While having such a powerful enemy like Ghurids, it's important to have great alliances. For our second character, we are diving into the Duchy of Rastko, but this time we are not playing as the famous Stefan. Instead, we will step into the shoes of his middle son Rastko. Before you even start, you've got a critical decision to make. How do you want to shape Rastko's destiny? Will you follow the path of history, becoming a landless wanderer, dedicating to spreading Serbian orthodoxy across the world? Or do you want to forge your own legacy as a Serbian ruler, most likely climbing the ranks as a vassal to the Byzantine Empire, and perhaps one day claiming the emperor's crown for yourself? Well, the choice is yours, but if I had to pick, the historical road of Rastko as a devoted religious figure would be my top recommendation. Rastko was born around 1175 as a prince of the powerful Nemanjić dynasty. The Nemanjić family ruled Serbia during its medieval golden age, and Rastko was initially groomed to be a ruler like his father and older brothers. Despite his noble birth and position as a prince, Rastko showed little interest in politics or worldly power, focusing instead on spiritual matters from an early age. His decision to renounce his royal status for a life of monasticism set the tone for his future impact on the Serbian people. At the age of 17, Rastko left his father's court secretly and fled to Mount Athos, a monastic center of the Orthodox Christian world, located in present-day Greece. He took monastic vows and adopted the name Sava, dedicated his life to God. One of the Saint Sava's most enduring legacies was his role in establishing the Serbian Orthodox Church. In 1219, Sava successfully secured the recognition of the Serbian Church as an autocephalous, which means independent, entity from the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, meaning it was no longer under the jurisdiction of foreign bishops. Your main duty will be to convert to Serbian Orthodox faith, which is called Christiani, which basically means Christians in Slavic languages. Once you do that, you got to spread this religion in the Croatian and Serbian kingdoms. And as a bonus, try to spread it into the Europe as well. Just be careful, because the Christians will not really like you, as they consider Christians astray, and they might make a crusade against you in the near future. For the third and last ruler in this episode, we got to start in the county of Rana, as Count Jaromar I. He ruled the Principality of Rügen, an island in the Baltic Sea that was inhabited by the Slavic Rani tribe. This principality was a significant Slavic power in the region, as it used to have a temple of Svetovid, a major Slavic deity. After the Danish conquest, the temple was destroyed, and the inhabitants were forcibly converted to Christianity. As Jaromar, you are not only the ruler of Rügen, but also the last surviving leader of the Polabian culture. The only other notable Polabian in 1178 is your brother Stoislav, who will succeed you if anything happens. But for now, the fate of Polabian culture rests in your hands. As its cultural head, you will decide which innovations to prioritize. Perhaps in future you would like to reform or even diverge Polabian culture to ensure its survival. The choices are endless, and the legacy of Polabians depends on you. During his 48 years of reign, Jaromar I had to navigate the shifting political dynamics of the Baltic Sea, which was increasingly under pressure from both Christian powers and the expanding Danish kingdom. He became a vassal to Denmark after King Valdemar I of Denmark defeated the Rani tribe and captured the island of Rügen in 1168, which is 10 years before the start of the game. The conquest of Rügen was part of the Danish expansion into the southern Baltic, aimed at destroying the power of pagan Slavic tribes and establishing Christian dominance in the region. As a result of this conquest, Jaromar I submitted to Danish rule, but remained his position as the ruler of Rügen. His acceptance of Danish overlordship ensured a degree of autonomy for Rügen, but it also meant that Jaromar had to convert to Christianity and support Denmark's interests. As one of your main goals, I would suggest to convert to the old Slavic gods, as all your ancestors were following them. But maybe do not do that at the beginning of the game. First, try to expand your land and gain more military power. A great alliance at the beginning of the game will definitely be useful. Unfortunately, Jaromar doesn't have amazing stats, so as for a lifestyle for him, I would suggest diplomacy or warfare. Unless you want to convert to the Slavic faith, then definitely learning. Thank you guys for watching this far. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, go check out the previous video of 3 interesting characters and find out where you can play as Kaja Alp. I will see you in the next video. Skål!